expressed doubt over the possibility of war with Venezuela. However, he has highlighted that Venezuela has been treating the United States, in his words, very badly. President Trump has further stated that Venezuelan President Nicolás Maduro's days are numbered amidst the allegations of a coup attempt. He has earlier given directives to the CIA to conduct operations in Venezuela. This, of course, comes at a time when the United States continues strikes in the Caribbean targeting drug traffickers. Venezuelan President Nicolás Maduro has previously claimed that United States military presence in the Caribbean is part of a coup attempt carried out by the CIA. United States and Venezuela, of course, have been at loggerheads on the issues of drug trafficking and on migration too. Listen in to what Trump had to say.
On the way to the Caribbean, are we going to war against Venezuela?
I doubt it. I don't think so, but they've been treating us very badly, not only on drugs. They've dumped hundreds of thousands of people into our country that we didn't want. People from prisons, they emptied their prisons into our country. They also, if you take a look, they emptied their mental institutions and their insane asylums into the United States of America because Joe Biden was the worst president in the history of our country.
On Venezuela in particular, are Maduro's days as president numbered?
I would say, yeah.
All right. There, of course, we've heard what Donald Trump has had to say. Major General Sudhakarji is still with us on the broadcast. What do you make of Trump's reaction? A very strongly worded signal being given there.
Yeah, behind the, very rightly observed by you, behind the strong signal, there is also a prominent signature of mellowing down against coming down heavily against Venezuela. You see, the fact of the matter, we need to study personalities. Donald Trump as an individual, as a person, he is averse to any kind of conflict or war. This we have to keep it in the back of our mind. He doesn't like, unfortunately, Netanyahu got after him and he roped him into attacking the Iraq, the nuclear installations. But that also he was not very keen. So given the fact that whatever is being orchestrated or demonstrated, my take as a military man is that this is only a pressure technique because he has already mustered 16,000 plus 4,000, 20,000 troops and sailors. There is a aircraft carrier around. Yes. And there are frigates around, there are motorboats, there are missiles which are deployed for action, there are helicopters, there are fighter jets, etc., etc. And it is being coordinated and supported from the command headquarters at Puerto Rico. So what am I trying to say? In the Caribbean, if you see the coastal area of Venezuela, the coastal boundary is roughly around 2,800 kilometers, if I respect my memory. And the length and breadth of Venezuela as a country is about 1,300 kilometers by 1,200 kilometers. There is another important feature. All along the coastline, about say 25 to 30 kilometers into the hinterland, there is a mountainous feature which dominates the coastline. So this is, going by the military science, this is likely to be held by and make any kind of penetration from the seaside into Venezuela formidable and disastrous. Anyone who is trying to launch an offensive is going to be highly detrimental and disastrous. So therefore, what is it that Trump is, if at all there is some meaning and substance behind what he is saying, the CIA modules are definitely there at Carcassa, that is in the capital. They are operating there. They have been given an objective for regime change. This much from the open source I can glean. But regime change in 21st century is not going to be that easy. It is going to be cast under lots of scrutiny. Global body, entire, as it is, USA is getting isolated day by day. Economic and military might is not enough. There is also a thing called a reliability, credibility, and trust. All the things US seems to be lacking today in the world order. And they are losing out on the colonial kind of lineage and the loyalty which they had. Call it as sphere of influence. The Latin America has turned its side towards China. So under these circumstances, I personally feel, my assessment is, all these articulations by Donald Trump is to put pressure on Venezuela and carry out some kind of a regime change if possible. Otherwise, their target is to look for the oil market. Earlier, the oil company from America is to operate with the state-owned company of Venezuela, and they is to have direct supply of the crude coming to America for refinement.
Yes.
Today, it is all going to Russia. Russia predominantly is the key player inside Venezuela. So that has to be kept in mind, and that the sphere of influence which has been lost out from America in the larger perspective, they want to regain and restore their penetration and dominance in Venezuela and other Latin America countries in the backyard of USA.
Absolutely. With that, I would like to thank you, Major General Sudhakar ji, for taking out time, of course, sharing your analysis with us on NewsX World. With that,